Hey, what's up? This is S.O.A.K TV, that's Son of a King TV. And we're here to break down this Heard v. Depp trial again. Um, let's start off with what happened at the top of the day. So they introduced this doctor out, this hand doctor, who is supposed to counteract Johnny Depp's testimony that his finger got cut off. Now, I'll start by saying also that I wasn't prepared all the way for them to show the pictures of his image, of his finger. I wasn't prepared for that all the way. But when they did, like you could see, like it was like this whole meat part here was just cut off. Like this whole thing was just cut off around, but the nail was still kind of intact. I wasn't ready to see all that, especially since I had pizza this morning. Um, Secondly, though, um, so this doctor, he seemed like he just, he just don't seem like a doctor anyone really would have interacted with on a real bit. Like he just don't seem like a doctor. He just doesn't seem like someone I would go to do a hand surgery. He just don't seem like a doctor. He give me farmer type of vibes. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to knock the man's credentials and or anything about how the man looks or anything like that. Obviously, anyone can be a professional and whatever you put your mind to, but he just don't really give me doctor vibes. Um, he seemed like he's done a lot of research around being a doctor. He probably went to school for it, but for me, he just don't give me those kind of vibes or even that he's a real successful doctor. I forgot. I think he said he was a teacher at some point, or at some point that was his main thing, was he was a teacher. They asked him about any leadership roles, and he said he was a member of these academies. That's not a leadership role. That's you have to become a member of those academies. I have a degree in a professional field, and we have an academy. And we have to be members of that thing. You know what I mean? So a lot of the stuff he was like he tried to seem like a doctor too much. Maybe I should say that. Maybe I'm not gonna knock the man's credentials now, but he seemed like he was just like it's the back of the hand, the dorsal side, like he's trying to sound like a doctor. I don't think a real doctor talks like that, especially knowing he's given a expert testimony. And I don't remember if they asked him how many times he did it, but I would think the answer would be zero because you would think expert testimony is they're trying to convey their expert opinion to these 12 individuals so they can kind of understand the mind of an expert. But he's talking to like he's dorsal, and then you have Heard's lawyer who's like the dorsal fin of a shark, right? That's not funny, bro. Get that weak stuff out of here. That's not funny. Like the dorsal fin of a shark, like the dorsal fin of a hand, bro. Like so that just seemed kind of weird to me. But that just seemed kind of weird. But then you had Camille on the cross exam, and this is an interesting. I never seen those two kind of go head at head to head. Like Amber Heard's lead lawyer versus Camille, and I don't think that was the plan. I think the plan was to obviously have the main lady who's been doing it, even though we've been seeing her a lot. It's time to give her a break. But I felt like that might have been like a last minute switch just to kind of throw Camille off her game a little bit. And he came correct. He didn't really expose himself to a lot of openings for Camille's deadly objections. So I don't think Camille really was maybe too prepared to kind of go up against him. But I also felt like the judge today, she was not trying to have no kind of games. She wanted to get through. She wanted to get through this as quickly, as easily as possible. She won't really on them Camille type ejection games today. Um, and so dude really kind of benefited from that. But I think she did a good job on the cross exam. And I think when he came back to redirect, I don't think he really undermined what Camille did. So I think she's a star in the courtroom. I think a lot of the jurors can kind of I think they notice her. She stands out a little bit more because she keeps the pace kind of going forward. So I don't think I don't think that witness testimony is really gonna last. Too, I don't think it's gonna be anything too serious. Um, and then it came to the contentious part of the day, which is the psychiatric. Uh, what's the doctor? Doc Ock, or what's his name from Back to the Future? I know a lot of people have been calling him that, but when he came out, everything about him just kind of seemed weird to me. Everything just seemed kind of goofy. Like, even I've been watching this trial every day since it's been out. I've never seen the when the individual is being sworn. I've never seen them being sworn in. They're usually kind of off to the side or whatever. The camera's on somewhere else. But this time around, you actually had the goofy in the back. Like, you could see him right next to Johnny Depp, and then he's just waiting, and he's just kind of standing. He's just kind of standing, and then he's sworn, and then he goes up. So off for the jump, I feel like he understood. Um, I feel like he understood how contentious this trial has been, how widely broadcast it's been, and I think he's seen it as an opportunity. This is the show for him. This is the stage. It's not the witness bench. It's a stage, and he gladly walked up on that stage and wanted to command control of that room, but he couldn't. He wanted to Jordan Peterson the situation, but he couldn't because he just didn't have enough Peter in him, or he just didn't have enough. He just didn't have that kind of charisma. He came off kind of weird. And if you ask me, if I'm someone who's in help or in need of anything, I'm not going to him. Would you? I mean, I really wouldn't, because he looks like the type of dude who type of psychiatrist who ends up becoming a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I will deal with my problems over the internet or whatever I have to do, whatever means I need in order to find the answers I'm looking for. But I do not want help from a man who hasn't seen the other side of a brush in I don't know how many years. So everything just kind of seemed weird. And then you talking about the breakdown of psychology. I feel like the strategy was to um get they're reach like I could tell you could tell like they're reaching to try to get these witnesses, these experts. They're trying to get these people. And I feel like after the first lady they had, who seemed pretty credible, except for when she showed herself not to be, I feel like Heard's team is reaching out to whoever. They're grabbing. They did a Craigslist ad, and they're just taking in whoever. Like, you look at these people, you're like, you couldn't find like any other doctor. Like, you couldn't find any other psychiatrist. You had to get the two people who look like weirdos. That's, come on, man. Like, I want to be unbiased. I obviously want to just portray the psychology, and I'm as an internet juror, I have to look at this. I have to say, this person looked weird to me. He looked weird. He talked weird. He sound everything weird about him. His answers are weird and long, and he thinks he's to make himself to be very intelligent. The way his answers are, he's not pretending to be a doctor. He's not pulling stuff out of his head to make it seem like I am a doctor. He is what he claimed to be. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. But whether or not anybody would touch him with a 10-foot pole is still highly questionable. Um, and I believe that these were the only individuals who would even touch this case on behalf of Amber Heard. And that's the psychology that that's what I'm picking up. And that's what I'm breaking down for you S.O.A.K TV viewers. And I think that was the main part, really, of the trial. I think that it's probably not looking too good if these are the caliber of people they're bringing up. Like, like, look, if you look at Johnny Depp scene, I'm sorry, I'm just breaking it down how I see it. The psychiatrist they brought, Dr. Curry. I mean, look at her. Is she not board certified or whatever? But I mean, guy, Come on, bro. She looked like a psychiatrist. She looked like she's very intelligent. She looked like she belonged in her field. She looked like she's able to break some stuff down. Her answers are very intelligent. She's not going around the world with it. She's not commanding attention to herself. She's not doing none of that. And it go to show me this on the other quotient, on the other portion of it, her her testimony was all her whole job was about Amber Heard, breaking down that psychology, not breaking down what may or may not have happened. But him, it seemed like he only testified about what Johnny Depp could potentially be. And it's like, you didn't even get to really interact with him. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Maybe that's lawyer games. So what? It's lawyer games. But they still brought him up, and he's trying to stand on a leg that he don't have, and he wants to say that, oh, and then bro, I love that Johnny Depp's lawyer who crossed him basically said, "You're this is unethical according to your books." And he's like, "Oh well, if you want to say that, then everything's unethical. The doctors, every expert witness." Well, it's like, no, this is from your book, your psychiatric book. This is your board. It's not everybody's board. It's not a doctor's board. They probably have something different. You don't know that. So he's trying to spin it very intelligently. Well, you might as well just say that everything is null and void, but that's not really true. Like, you try to Jordan Peterson it, but you're not Jordan Peterson. Like, we don't even know what your name is. So, man, that's the S.O.A.K TV breakdown of today. Stay tuned, man. This trial is getting more and more interesting as it goes on. And I know her team only had like 8 hours left, and that doctor really could yap his jaw. So I believe their time is probably shorter than 8 hours now. It's probably like 4 or 5 hours. So I expect this thing to be wrapped up clearly and definitively by Thursday. And then Johnny Depp's team from Thursday to Friday will kind of basically wrap it up with whatever else they want to bring out. And I mean back those dates. So let me say Wednesday and Thursday. When things will kind of run out on the Heard team, they'll rest their case probably sometime tomorrow, if not early Wednesday. And then Depp's team will come out and kind of drop the nail on the hammer is essentially what I expect. So man, stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.